So the next big question really is the consistency. How consistent are the messages we're communicating and the expectations we set for our employees? And what I mean by that, what I'm getting at is the concept of competing priorities. So let's take an example where, and actually I saw this occurring, a rental car agency. I flew into Kansas City, and I saw the guy in front of me was dealing with a customer and sent the customer on his way. And I knew he had to input a bunch more things from the customer account, probably a loyalty account or something of that nature, to get in the computer and get processed before he could deal with my request. And I kind of watched him. He's between the computer looking up at me. So if I wasn't somewhat cognizant of what he was actually doing, I'm thinking, why am I still standing here, man? And ultimately, what I figured out was he was left between a choice. Either I input all this customer information from that last customer so that he can be properly serviced. Let's say he gets in an accident, or something goes wrong with a car, or when he checks the car back in, those people on the other side already have all the information about him that he's inputting on the back end, making sure that it's all lined up right. Or he can essentially take me right away so that he's now engaged with me, and kind of risks the customer's information from prior. So now this individual's left with a choice, right? Either leave me on the island for a while and get the data in right, or take me right away and risk a data issue, a data inaccuracy issue in inputting it. So ultimately, what tends to happen when we have these competing priorities is we go law of least effort, and we essentially select the one that has the lowest level of risk that something bad can happen. And if especially so, if we create like an incentives program that's all about, I get rewarded based on how somebody evaluates my performance and satisfaction with how I handled their situation, right? So if that's my target, then I don't care about inputting the data right for everybody else. Come on, next customer up. Let's go, because that's my priority, right? So when they have to choose, we put them in a really inconvenient situation, and over time that's going to build up, and we're not going to have a good read on their performance ultimately. And if our messages aren't consistent and we have communication incongruence, mixed messages are going to throw people into saying, okay, what am I supposed to do now? And if they're forced to choose, not only is it exhausting, but I just, no one's really set on the right course for the company's culture and the vision of what you're trying to accomplish.
Yeah. I love that. I love the idea of driving greater clarity around kind of what to do and expectations so people know what they need to be doing, and even going down the level of prioritization in case you've got conflict. So it makes me think, when I'm doing time talking about culture, I often will talk about Magic Kingdom at Disney World, because they've got every cast member is trained on 4 values: safety, courtesy, show, and efficiency. Mm-hmm. Safety, courtesy, show, and efficiency. And what's really unique about the way they do it is they have those ranked ordered that way. So they know, so their employees know, their cast members know what to trade off. So you never trade off a safety issue.
Yeah.
And then you go to courtesy. And then you can, but courtesy trumps efficiency. But then you can go to then show, make it a big show. And then lastly, efficiency. And all are important, but they prioritize them so you know what to do when you're faced with that decision with that customer. Yeah. Which path do I pick?